takes a lot to win a Super Bowl. Okay, I wrote something down here. Here's your quarterbacks, and let's see. And this is the group that I put Jalen Hurts in. Jim Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls and an MVP in one of those Super Bowls. Jim McMahon, Jeff Hostetler was a backup. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Nick Foles was a backup. Sam Darnold, and Jalen Hurts. That's the group he belongs in. That's won Super Bowls as a starting quarterback. That's the group he belongs in. That's 7 guys have won Super Bowls. I didn't even put the Theismanns in the world or the Rippins in the world and that. You could easily put those guys in there. And I could name 3 or 4 more guys that have won Super Bowls and put him in that room. I mean, and Foles was a journeyman. Nick Foles is a journeyman quarterback. I mean, Jim, I mean, Foles is a journeyman. Hurts has more time without pressure and better weapons than any quarterback in the league and did nothing with it. Now, I don't say nothing with it. I'm not going there and saying he didn't do anything with it. How many of them besides Plunkett was a Super Bowl MVP? Foles and Plunkett. Hurts is in that room. Nick Foles and Jim Plunkett. There's precedent for an average quarterback to win it. Those guys are, by the way, Plunkett's got 2 wins. 2 appearances, 2 wins. Russell Wilson's been to 2 Super Bowls. I mean, there's precedent. 2 journeyman quarterback won Super Bowls and were MVPs. Foles and Plunkett. Plunkett was a journeyman. He started his career in New England, got fired there. He started his career, then he went to San Francisco, got fired there. Then he went to the Raiders, and he won 2 Super Bowls and got an MVP. He was a journeyman. Nick Foles is a journeyman. Hostetler was a backup. See, as we talk about trends almost every year, they have been terrible at run defense, except Seattle, I'm assuming. We talk about trends almost every year. Question has been terrible at run defense, except Seattle, I'm assuming. Now, I wouldn't say Foles is better than Hurts, period. You're saying that because he won a Super Bowl. If not, you would not say that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What do you mean? Mark Rippon's underrated? Okay. You want to say he's better as a player? Sure. Rippon won an MVP. I don't think he was that awful. I think listen, I never said Hurts wasn't a good player. Mark Rippon was a really good player, won an MVP in the regular season, and I believe he won a Super Bowl MVP. I wouldn't call him one of the greats of all time, though. I mean, there's precedent for good. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. Put in the right environment, he's a really good quarterback. Same with Hurts. You put a good quarterback in a really good environment, he's going to flourish. You put a great quarterback in a bad situation, he's not. Joe Burrow is not going to flourish in Cincinnati. No matter how many wide receivers you give him. You know why? The Bengals are never going to build a team around him. Because the Bengals don't want to spend money. The Bengals have no problem spending money on wide receivers, but they have a problem spending money on Trey Hendrickson or a guy like Jesse Bates. They're not going to spend money on defense because they don't want to. So if an average quarterback can win, no. an average quarterback can win. Why are we fretting over Hurts being average? I'm not. The Eagles are. I would have left the team the way it was. I'm not. I would have prayed for health in 26, not schematic changes in 26. Big Sills, what type of work prep do you have to put in the offseason to improve and stay ahead of the league at quarterback? And can Jalen evolve or improve? Mike, they're not letting him or helping him improve by hiring people that fit his skill set. The only quarterback coach or coach that helped him was Shane. Mike, you think there's any coincidence once a dual threat quarterback got to Shane in Indianapolis, like what they did with Daniel Jones? Look at what Shane did with Daniel Jones. He turned his career around because he utilized the skill set. You think there's any coincidence that Danny Dimes went from being a loser in New York, and when he got to Indianapolis, he just signed a brand new 2-year contract that's going to pay him $50 million a year? You think there's any coincidence to that? If Sean Mannion turns out to be a good OC play caller, can you see the Eagles back in the Super Bowl? No. Because the quarterback's not going to be able to play in that Sean McVay offense. He's not that good in that setting. No. So, Sills, who has the best coaching staff in the NFL right now, top 3? On both sides of the ball? I'd say the Rams. And maybe the Patriots, because you've got Josh McDaniels and you got Mike Vrabel. You got Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, who last year was named the assistant coach of the year. Seals, how good do you think you would be if you had to play for a coach you knew more than? Great take. Great take. Not very. Hey, Roll, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying about Hurts. Jalen Hurts put in the right environment with better coaching on offense. You don't have a very good offensive coaching staff right now. I don't know why people in Philly won't say it. Your coaching staff is not very good right now on offense. You know why? It does nothing to help the quarterback. Like where? Where are you helping him? Do you think that I'm picking the Eagles to have 8 wins this year because of Jalen? I'm picking the Eagles to have 8 wins because of directional change. Okay, here's another good take. It's unproven. That's what you want going into year 7 of your quarterback, an unproven coaching staff. Really? That defeats the entire purpose. I'm going to have an unproven coaching staff, not coach, staff, heading into the 26th season with 0 success or any kind of success you can lean on. 0. And you're going into a year 7 of a quarterback, with a quarterback, changing the offense with a team and a coaching staff that's never, ever been in a game situation. Is that right? Together as a group. Make that make sense. Think about what you're doing, about what you're about to go into. You're going to go with this coaching staff as a group into a game that's never been together, never had any success together. The play callers never called a play. He's never had a game plan, never had a playbook in his entire life. And it's going against everything the quarterback does as a skill. Where are you helping him? Where are you helping him? I'm not saying you're going to win 8 games because Jalen stinks. Because I said again, I don't think he stinks. I think he's a good player. I think you're doing everything to sabotage him, like you did Wentz. Every single thing that they're doing right now is sabotaging Jalen Hurts. They're sabotaging him right in front of your eyes. If you're hiring people that don't help the kid, you're sabotaging him. I would be very pissed off if I was Jalen Hurts on what this staff looks like. If Barkley comes out slow, there'll be rumbles of him on the block as well. Either Hurts or Barkley will be there in 2000. Neither will be there in 28. Grizzard destroyed Baker. Now he has Jalen. I think Grizzard got a bad deal in Tampa. I disagree with that. I think he got a bad deal. I think Todd Bowles was a bad coach in 2025. Khalid, I didn't. Seals, this whole offensive change is a slow motion car crash. Jalen can't run this type of offense, and they will have to revert back like they did in 24. Thank you, Khalid. I appreciate you doing that, bro. Okay. Hey, great take. And with a first place schedule. There is no way they win more than 8 games, even with the talent they have on the roster. Okay? Hello, everyone. I'm late, but I'm tuning into the National Hurts Hate Show with Dan Sileo. Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday to you. What have I said that's a lie? Wait a minute. And again, Marsh missed it. They're sabotaging Jalen Hurts. They're sabotaging him. It's the only way I look at it. They are sabotaging him. If you're not hiring